welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man that is recording this episode from inside a posh Parisian bathroom. It's Nick Rehak.
Hey, how you doing?
So you're just waiting for some spies to engage in this bathroom, right? You're just kind of hanging out, waiting for it?
Pretty much. But the nice thing is they done away with the tile, and it's all very nice wooden walls. The floor is repurposed bamboo wood.
Whoa.
It's pretty fancy. Pretty fancy.
Yeah, after they destroyed it in Fallout, they just said, you know what? Let's just redo it.
Pretty much. And then, you know what? I think somebody said the magic word is sconces, because those are everywhere.
Wow. In every stall?
Every stall, even above the urinals. It's kind of weird, but very classy.
Electric or gas?
It's gas in the urinals, but electric above the stalls.
Wow. They thought this through.
Just for the smell. They don't want the methane, you know what I mean, catching with an open flame. So They keep the electric in the back and the party in the front.
Not again, right?
No. It was the pre-post-apocalyptic one, and then the apocalyptic one happened, and they've learned their mistake.
Oh, smart. Hey, so before we get into drafting, and thank you for joining me again. If you remember, Nick was on our jet ski action scene draft, which, I mean, we came up with jet ski doctors on that, and turtles on jet skis, two of the all-time great MFF riffs ever in our 65 episodes. Beautiful, beautiful riff. So before we get into our bathroom draft, I just want to ask you, you're out somewhere and you have to, use the restroom. What restroom would you want to be in to watch one of these fights that we're about to talk about? What a stupid question. You're a fly on the wall and one of these fights breaks out. Where do you want to be? Which one do you want to be in?
Ooh. Jeez. I think of all the ones, it would have to be raid.
You're like 2 over?
Because it's so much.
Oof.
It's so much happening at once, and you're really getting a bang for your buck. You're getting so much for your entertainment dollar right there. And then there's that mystery of how are they going to pull this one off? But they do it.
I got to tell you, I would hire the person who installed that door, because there's about 40 angry people pounding on it for minutes.
Yeah.
And it holds. Yeah. So whoever installed that lock did it right. And that's not balsa wood on that door. That's legit oak. That's elm.
It's a heavy door.
Yeah.
And the thing is, look at that little lock. Mm-hmm. There is not much holding it on there. And how it stays in place. The hinges, they have to be heavy duty hinges, but they're not. The physics doesn't make sense, but there's some kind of, maybe it's the screws, maybe they did an adhesive as they applied the screws, but it is something else there.
Well, all right, since we just talked about that, do you mind if I get first pick?
No, and I feel bad that I kind of stepped on your energy there a little bit, that was
steal it, take it.
I could never.
And then you go, well, that reminds me. So I'm just going to say, why not? Let's go with the Raid 2, the bathroom fight in the Raid 2 with Rama. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
That'll be my first pick. Because
and it's a wonderful pick.
Now, I was thinking, should I do Blood and Bone or should I do the Raid? And I just kind of thought about it, and I just said, I'm going to stick with the Raid because I wanted to have a prison bathroom fight. But I decided on the Raid because, actually, I feel bad for the criminals in Blood and Bone, too, because Michael Jai White's beating them up. But this group of 40 people, when they attack Rama, I feel bad for all of them. And it's one of the first times in my movie watching life where I'm watching people attack a guy, and I'm like, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. Right? This isn't a 3-on-1. This isn't, sometimes when it's a 3-on-1 or mismatch, you're like, whatever. It's a fight. But guys, don't do it. And people are getting their skull cracked on toilets. That wall, I mean, there's blood stains with hair in it in about 40 spots of that bathroom stall. He's flipping people. Yeah. I was like, guys, listen, I know you want to beat up Rama. I get it. I don't know why, but just don't, just let him be. Let him go to the bathroom.
Absolutely. And not only that bathroom is filth. The slightest cut, you're getting an infection yesterday. It is. I tell you what, though,
it's retroactive.
If I'm in that group of guys fighting, I'm the very last guy. I'm like, I'm gonna let you guys tire them out. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm here to support the team. I'll get him at the end. But even then, he's just getting warmed up. Like it's nonstop. I think Raid 2 is the greatest action film ever. Ever. No hyperbole. Like Raid 2 is it.
No
Like,
hyperbole.
nothing's gonna beat it.
So good. I mean, it's almost so great. You get tired. Like it has so much awesomeness in it.
Yeah.
And it bums me out because people are like Mad Max Fury Road, Commando, Die Hard's great. But for me, I think Iko Uwais is one of the greatest on-screen kickers, fighters ever.
Yes.
And
yes.
If you said Mark, well, he's not the best, and I would just say who's better. I mean, I guess you could say like Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jim Varney, Trent Slater.
I mean, you can, but that's like the people that say who would win, Michael Jordan or LeBron. You can't compare the two because those are different people at their primes in different eras. The game has changed as far as kicks go. Like he's running it right now.
And it's a different martial arts. I mean, and also the elbows and knees that Rama is throwing is just stop, guys, stop. Like I've never felt bad for a group of people. Just stop.
Or anytime I see something where a guy gets punched in the throat, I'm like, you should just quit. If I'm in that group of people, if I see a guy getting punched in the throat, I'm like, fellas, I think my cellmate's calling me. I gotta go. Is that hello, guardsman? Yeah, the guards are calling us, guys. We should probably go.
Yeah. No, okay. Like when he punches that guy in the throat.
Yeah.
That guy immediately goes, "This was bad. This was a bad idea." Because you see his face, and it's just my throat is now sticking out the back of my neck. He just immediately regrets it. I would be the person in the background with a piece of wood that throws it. And then I would stand really close behind somebody, and so when their head flies back, it hits me, and I fall unconscious.
And even if you don't go unconscious, you pretend you're unconscious. Be like, I'm down. I'm down here.
When they show videos of this fight later, they're going to see me punching myself in my nose to make it look bloody.
Like we saw you punch yourself in the face. No, somebody's fist. It totally hit me. No, I'm pretty sure.
It was Rama.
It could be you were in the mirrors. He was in the stall. Now that guy's got a punch like you wouldn't believe.
Man, he hit inmate number 6, and I felt it.
Yeah. I had to take one for the team. We're all a team. One man goes, we all go.
Yeah. So there's a video of you socking yourself in the nose. But this is the reason I picked it. It's brutal. It utilizes toilets well, and it's dirty. And we'll talk about why we didn't pick some of the movies at the end, but I had to pick. We had to start off with Raid 2. So who are you picking first?
Absolutely. Me, I'm going to go in a very different direction. It's actually the first ever bathroom fight scene I saw, and that is
Kramer versus
Harry
Kramer?
Potter.
That Street Hoffman brawl?
Yeah. Where Dustin Hoffman is just relentless with those lefts, and then the right hook comes.
Those body shots.
Meryl takes it, though. She takes it like a champ.
Yeah, when she knocks him out with the toothbrush holder, the ceramic one. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's insanity. You wouldn't think, but she's right there with it. And then that score from Mike Shinoda just pulsing the whole time. Like
the one thing I have a question about Kramer versus Kramer. Why are their toothbrushes sharpened? The bottoms.
I think because it's one of those. So before, and I'm just going to assume because I'm relatively young, but I'm going to assume for a while everybody was like, we need something all in one, right? It has to be all in one. Let's not keep anything separated. And it was a new trend, and someone's like, you know what? I'm just going to sharpen the end of this toothbrush. So as I'm brushing, like, oh no, I see a little something, right? A little piece of chicken skin from last night. Just get it out with a little pick. You turn the toothbrush around, pick it out, ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Dentist recommended because now you can scrape away a little bit of plaque before they get in there with all the metal stuff.
When she stabs Hoffman with it 73 times, I was still amazed he was able to make that court date the next day. I mean,
and you get to about 40 and you're like, there's no way. And they just keep going. It's relentless.
I was over it by 50, but then by 60 to 70, I was loving it because like they went.
It wins you back.
Yeah.
Right. It absolutely wins you back. We play a game at work called How Many Blanks is Too Many Blanks, and we pick a song and we put it in there. Right. A month ago, we did How Many Kokomos is Too Many Kokomos, and we played the Beach Boys Kokomo on a loop. When we got to 12, we didn't like it anymore. When we got to 16, we were a fan. And then when we got to 18, we all collectively said 18 Kokomos is too many Kokomos.
Wow. That's
so
beautiful.
For you, 73 toothbrush stabbings is just the right amount. 74 would be too many.
Too many.
But 73 is primo. And I think the director knew that, and that's why it got the Oscar that year.
Oh, yeah, won so many. Yeah, I mean, the stunt coordinating on it.
Alone.
That guy went on to do all of Carpenter's films. Then he did all of Stallone's films in the 80s.
He only did one Chuck Norris film, Cobra, but after that,
yeah. Well, Chuck Norris didn't want him to show him up.
He didn't.
Yeah. All right. So you're taking Harry Potter, right? Is this your Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
Yes. One of the first times I ever really saw a bathroom fight in a film, and it's relatively simple compared to today's standards. Yeah, there's a little bit of danger, and we do get a sink breaking, which is great. Plumbing and the water's everywhere. You have to. Bathroom stalls are destroyed. But it's just a little fantastical because it's got a troll, and he's got a big club. He's trying to take everybody out. We see the characters gaining a little bit of confidence, right? We can see kind of Hermione's running the group. We can see Harry, obviously the adventurous one. Ron's kind of off to the side trying to get the magic to work. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes he doesn't. It's also a little bit of comedy in there too. I think it's just a fun, wholesome bathroom fight because a lot of them you don't really get that. I think this is the only one without blood on our list. Everything else is pretty intense.
There's some uber ones in here, so this is a nice palate cleanser.
It is. We could start out light and then get first we went hard, right, with Raid 2, then we take it down a little bit, and it's an album, right? The first track, you're in it. Second track, all right, a little bit of a ballad, but then the rest of the album, we're flying.
Flying high. Metallica's Saint Anger.
Exactly. Well, to a point.
I love that documentary. It's a good doc.
It is great, isn't it? It's probably one of the better music documentaries out there, and I think, maybe only rivaled by, The Decline of Western Civilization.
And Gary and the Rancors living it.
Well, it has to be that, right? I think that's the one that kicks everything off. If you don't have Gary and the Rancors, you don't have Decline of Western Civilization.
No. So, yeah, you got to give respect where it's due.
Absolutely, day in and day out. And the problem is a lot of people don't. Like, you see these rock concert docs and everything, and nobody takes a second to go, hey, Gary, I want to thank you and the Rancors. That didn't happen. That didn't happen in Purple Rain. You know what I mean? It didn't happen in The Last Waltz. It didn't happen in one of the 20 Martin Scorsese-directed Rolling Stone documentaries, which, by the way, I feel like maybe after two of them, we're like, I think we're good. We don't need Give Me Shelter and Shine a Light. Oh, we're fine.
Yeah. I don't need something about Foghat's 1979 concert in Tucson. But can I tell you something about me, Nick? So I love it when things drop on people's heads. So in a lot of these fights that we're talking about, there's just a lot of people getting socked in the nose and the chin. You're punching yourself in your face in the Raid 2. I like when things from above bonk somebody. So in Princess Bride, when Andre the Giant bonks a guy on top of the head. Love it.
Classic.
In this film, when Ron does the spell and then drops the club on the troll's head and then troll fall. I love a good bonk. Is what I'm saying. And I gotta tell you, there's some danger in this. He destroys the bathroom stalls. That sink that he destroys near Hermione, that's really close to her. She could have been smushed. And there's a good water spray. You need water spray. And there is. Yeah.
And you know what? It's a single water spray. There's, of all the things getting destroyed, one water spray, there's a protective magic spell in there with the water somehow. There's no way there's not at this point. But at the same time, you know what? It's a kid's film, right, to an extent. But it adds that sense of danger. It does say, hey, there is danger out there. Clearly, there's been how many films we know they're going to beat the troll. But there's still, little steps here and there. Hey, we're having fun. We're wizards. But there's real danger out there.
That could have smashed her. And I like the bits too. The wand goes into the troll's nose, and it's just it builds. So it's nice that it's not a stock fight. They wrote it well. There's some cheeky gags to it. Each character